Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a new daily update about BTC prices. And boy oh boy, it's not a dull day. I was a little bit afraid that we would get a bit of a boring August, but the volatility now picked up and we are really at interesting price points. Before we go to dive into charts, as always, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, because only a fraction of you are subscribed. Leave me a comment or share this video with your friends if you think that's useful. Now let's start diving into the charts right away. We're starting off here with the BTC USD pair on the 4-hourly. Yesterday we had such a nice pump up. That was right here. And then now we're kind of just sliding off completely and almost giving it completely up. The price is right here, is this thick blue line, a little bit more than 23,200. This is an important level right now, because as you can see from a very macro point of view, we are just above here this value area high. If we start losing this thick blue line, which is the value area high node, then I'm afraid we're getting back into the range, and then eventually we're going to the point of control to eventually the low of this value area, and then we're going back all the way to 19k. So it is important that we start pumping very soon again, and I will go into the details in just a little bit. There's just one more thing that I want to show you, and that is that if we take this smaller range, so that is this price range right here, and we also will take the tool to determine the value area high and the point of control, then you can see that measured from this distance right here, and I zoom in a little bit. Is that correct what I'm doing? Yeah, like this. Then you're seeing that the price is also right now off the point of control of this smaller time frame right here. To be honest guys, I was not really expecting the dump to retrace so much. We talked yesterday about the fact that this could be a bar pattern, and I said, well, I don't think so, because it looks like we're picking up here again. I entered the small long here on the dip, which is now of course underwater, but maybe I will add to that long to average out a little bit the buying price if I see more bearish signs. To be honest, on the small time frames it looks bad. Here first on the 4-hourly, as you can see, we're just dumping down. We talked about this important support and resistance box that we can just extend, and exactly also from that point you can see that we just came in, couldn't break it, and now we're just retracing. Underneath there we have this support and resistance box where we had quite some touch points here, here and here, and we're just breaking through like it's nothing, and that, to be honest, concerns me quite a bit. And we also have still room here to go on a momentum wave, the money flow, the VWAP and the RSIs. That looks just pretty bad. If I zoom in on the hourly, then I said yesterday, well, actually I find it hard to imagine that we would just roll over right away, but that is exactly what happened. So of course I was wrong in that perspective. And like I said, I really thought on this dip right here that we would maybe go a little bit longer, try to establish a higher high here, trap the longs, and then maybe go lower. That didn't happen, so we need to adjust our plans accordingly right now. Right now this looks a little bit oversold, not tremendously. Also in the regular RSI, the 1 hour is a little bit oversold, or we're slowly coming to that territory. Doesn't mean a thing, but maybe we get a little bit of a bounce. What would be pretty negative if we get a bounce into this territory and then we are going lower again. But for now you could see on the 1 hourly, money flow is coming up, VWAP is coming up, and the momentum wave looks like it wants to turn higher. Most important levels, of course, to reclaim, let me make it a little bit bigger, is of course this box. That's already what we talked about, because we had so many rejections of that box, so that will be pretty bearish again if we come up and then get retraced. If we take that level, then of course I want to see this being taken out, preferably if you're really day trading this level, and this level. The difference between those levels is not that tremendously. We're talking about 23,800 to 24,200, that is 1.6%, but those are the most important levels. And this box that we have right here is approximately starting from 23,400 to, let's say, 23,500 ish. Can we go lower? Of course, we can also go much lower. And then what I'm looking out for is I'm just kind of moving then the fib retracement with the swings. So this was a low right here. Well, we breached here the golden pocket, as you can see. Then if we just move this to this swing low, then we have a golden pocket where we are at right now, and it looks like we're breaking it. That is approximately at 23,200 to 23,300. And then we have one from this low, and you can also see that we had quite some touch points here for the candles to bounce off from, and that one is 23,000 to 23,100. I actually really would love to see us hold that. If we start losing that, then I'm getting a little bit worried, to be honest, because like I said, I just felt like the run still had a little bit of more steam. If I see bullish signs suddenly, then I will maybe add to my long. If not, then let's see how far I can go. I'm not in super high leverage, so I can definitely take the dip to pretty low levels. But it is of course a little bit of a bummer that it kind of looks like we're still bottom padding down right now, and that's not really what you want to see. And a pattern that some people are looking at is this kind of diagonal idea. Like I said, and also in previous videos, my line is not so perfectly, but you can kind of see the point where we're just constantly making higher lows everywhere, so that looks good. So you really don't want this to go really trade much lower, and I think if we lose this level right here at approximately let's say that is 21,000, 20,000, it's game over, lights out, and then we're going much lower. But for now, these are the bottom levels that I'm looking out for, that I just pointed out. On this very small time frames, it actually looks pretty bad. If I zoom into, let's take the 15 minutes, then you can see that there is just really not a bounce at a certain level where you could say, hey, it looks like we are kind of establishing a low. It is, we are kind of waterfalling just down, and also the money flow here looks very ugly. The momentum wave is coming up and the price is still coming down. That is super bearish. Also on the 12 minute that a lot of people use for bearish divergences, look at this money flow, just steep down. Also here momentum wave is coming up and the price is still slowly going lower. So it looks like one of those very painful bear grinds that we have seen already so many times. On the 5 minute, also very ugly. Yes, you have bullish divergences on the momentum waves and the price going lower, but look at the money flow. For me, this is really key. That money flow needs to come up. If else I'm not adding to my long position here. I have burned my fingers so many times that I thought, oh, the price is coming down, the momentum wave is going up, let's put in a long, and yippee-ki-yay, we're going higher. And then that just didn't happen because the money flow did not back up that plan. So if you're using market Cipher, then really make sure that you have that money flow as well. One funny thing, I don't know if you can see it here. No, let me quickly also add that in the indicator. I think that's market Cipher A, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, look at all the yellow X is a sign of exhaustion from the bears or the bulls. In this case, the bears, and you see that you have a tremendous amount of yellow X's, but still the price going lower. Also here the momentum wave is just going higher. Money flow is also just going higher, but it just doesn't mean a thing. There's just no buying power whatsoever from anyone who wants to long at these kinds of levels, and that actually makes me a little bit worried for this long trade that I'm in. But like I said, it was a small trade, not super high leverage, so I could add to the position. Then my average purchasing price just goes down a little bit, and then I can still ride it to the upside. But this money flow, that's actually something that really concerns me. Something that is in my favor is the dollar index right now. We talked about this wedge. Sorry, this rising. What is it actually? Triangle. Ascending triangle, thank you so much. And it looks like now that we have broken out. If you would take a measured move, then this has a price target of approximately 104.5. That would be nice. On our market Cipher B indicator, it does back up our plan, because you see here the money flow going down, the momentum wave going lower, and the RSIs and the VWAP. So that looks pretty good. Doesn't mean that BTC right away also have to start pumping, because dollar index is dumping, BTC is pumping. That could have a little bit of lagging in there, but if this really goes lower, then it would be nice to see if BTC can go higher. And what I actually really hope for our macro scenario is that we stay above this macro value area high, so this thick blue line, that we can maybe create something on a big time frame, for example 4 hour or daily, a new high, for example to this wick or to a golden pocket, and then we are nuking south. That will be actually very, very nice. But I have to say this one thing on also a macro time frame that is against us, and that is here the market cipher B. We are not yet in the green for the money flow. It looks like we are just now right now at the zero line, but look at these momentum waves. These are going down, and we have here already a high on the price. So if we now make a new high in the price, or not at all, then this was actually also a very nice bearish sign, and then we can roll over again. The money flow would then bounce off from approximately the zero line. RSIs are very much split here. That is just a sign of weakness to the upside. So that is also something that concerns me. So different time frames, different story, everything that you have to take in consideration. Then quickly head over to New York. New York opens in a few minutes, or probably already opened when you watch this video. Looks like we are slightly starting off in the red. Yesterday was a pretty big result in the beginning of the day. I think it was like a -1% or something, -1.5, but we just made it up completely on oh, now it's gone. Made up completely during the day, and then we almost went out at zero, so there was not a huge difference. But let's see now how this ends up today. If the S&P also starts dumping, then I'm afraid that we also are going lower, much lower for BTC, and I probably then have to cut the long position that I have. But I actually really want to see now a little bit of a bounce or some bull stepping in. And of course, again, I am mainly looking at the money flow. That needs to come back ASAP for us to go higher. I don't mind a little bit of a retracement. If you don't do anything crazy, you can have them on your positions if you just ride them for a little bit longer. But if your scenario gets invalidated because of we're breaking all these support levels as easy as we're just doing right now, then I'm getting a little bit concerned. Then I'm thinking, those bears are really much in power. If you like these kinds of updates, then please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, click on the bell, click on the bell, click on all, so that you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think this is useful. Also feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. You will also find those links in the description. I post there a few times per day. And I'll see you guys very soon again in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye bye.